Some of you may still be perpetuating some of this stuff. Hopefully, I'm going to see a complete load of blank faces. Flash is dead. We killed Flash. We took it out into the yard and we shot it. If you are using it, if you are talking about Flash, if anybody mentions Flash in your presentations and your courses, stop it now. If you mention, we could put a piece of Flash in here, or it's a Flash type thing, stop it. Stop using the term. Stop perpetuating the term. All of these things now are created using HTML5, jQuery, CSS3. HTML4, you may or may not know what that is, but basically it was the language of the internet when it first started, is dead. HTML5 is its replacement. New, funky, shiny. It essentially allows more instruction. It can do more. There's a more of a suite of instructions for developers to be able to say, make it do this in this particular way. No.
Well, it can do. You got a lot more. So the browser can take a lot more instructions. Yep. So it can do things like video without needing Flash. It can do things like animation without needing Flash. Yeah. So it's got more capability. Yeah.
It's natively more tooled up to work with the browsers and do the things that we need it to do nowadays. CSS3 is the latest enhancement of the styling language. So this is the way forward. Again, same principle. Loads more tools in it, loads more instructions to say, make it look like this, rather than creating a crappy image that isn't going to be any good to anyone. We can now code it to make it look good, not just on desktop, laptop, iPad, iPhone, all of that. Now, one other thing you may or may not have an involvement with, JavaScript. JavaScript, as being direct encoding onto a website, is not really being used so much on its own anymore, but it's being used in conjunction with frameworks. So the most commonly used one is something called jQuery. So it's a suite of JavaScript-based tools to say, hey, we were talking earlier on about the person wanting to have a nice slider image gallery. Okay, if jQuery is loaded on the server, you can call instructions from jQuery and make that image library happen. Okay, yes, it does require a certain amount of coding knowledge, but these functions as part of a framework are being used, rather than in the older days a developer would type 23,242 lines of JavaScript to make the thing happen on the page. Don't need to do that anymore. These libraries exist on repositories, code repositories, like GitHub. Last screen from me, I think. What's hot? So we killed off Flash. Image animations being done with HTML5, CSS3, and SVG animations. You heard of SVG? Yeah. You know when you go to Google? Yeah, SVG. You know when to go onto Google and you see the illustrated animations that change each day to usually celebrate something? That is done through SVG. It's not done through Flash. It's not done through anything else except SVG. Very clever. It's coded images. The emergence of completely new languages. This is what I think. This is hot. So hot. Node.js, which is server-side JavaScript coding. Things like this allow live chats to happen. Now, everybody uses live chats, or the technology anyway. So, show of hands for Facebook. Do you use Facebook? Come on, Fess. Okay. The messenger on it uses Node.js. Pretty much every single online live chat function, which everybody is asking for on their websites now. In the last 10 projects, almost every single client said, I want a live chat on my website. Why? Because I want to be able to provide real-time responses to my customers' questions without them having to pick up the phone. Yeah. Great.
Then you ask them, is there anyone in the office? And they go, yeah, once a week.
Once a week.
Well, so we're not going to do it.
Yeah, so that goes back to the appropriate of content. I want a live chat. Is anybody going to be there to answer it? No, we're not putting it on, because it just looks bad. It's a bad user experience. If it's there and nobody answers the message, bad. Turn it off. Other things. AngularJS. Google developed that one. It's a JavaScript kind of language. But ultimately, what we're saying here is the commercial sector is creating the languages. The commercial sector, Google, Facebook, all the big boys, are making new languages to to enable websites to do things that didn't always happen. It's coming out of user demand. You, all of us, the kids, everybody who use websites, use apps, are going, yeah, but I want it to do this. Why doesn't it do that? Yeah, why doesn't it do that? So once somebody sits down and goes, yeah, well, JavaScript doesn't really enable it. Well, how can we make JavaScript enable it? Got to come up with a new language. So some of the big boys are developing their new languages. Another one of those, social plugins. I'm sure you have all used those to various degrees. I actually don't. I think it scares the bejesus out of me because it's such a security nightmare. But you will have gone to a website and it says, hey, log in with your Facebook login. It'll only take you 30 seconds. Anybody done it? Some of them are mega bad. So essentially what you're doing is you are enabling that person or that website to rinse a lot of data from your Facebook profile.
I used it. It's easier. I can't bother to put it
And
on.
that right there, it's called the quid pro quo. It was easier, but you have paid for it because that company now know a lot of stuff off your Facebook page.
It's like privacy settings.
Yeah. Privacy settings.
Privacy settings.
Privacy settings are fantastic if you are a UK company and you conform to the ICO, the Information Commissioner's Officer, and you toe the line.
Okay.
If you're a US-based company or Indonesian-based company or a company basically offshore, which most internet service forget it. No such thing as privacy. If you want privacy on the internet, don't do it on the internet. Final thing from me, geoplotting and tagging. This geoplotting and tagging was developed between Facebook and Garmin. Very good. Allows people to do the whole where am I? Oh, sorry, I'll turn location services on. Ah, yeah, I'm there. So really useful ability to be able to use the operating system of the phone and GPS technology, 3G, 4G, to understand where you are. But that is actually something that is really getting made good use of. So, an app or a website, Restaurant Finder. I want a restaurant near me. How does it know where it is? How does it know where I am? Geoplotting.
To give you a good middle-aged example, I've got mine set up so when I go within 500 metres of my house on the way home, it turns the heating on.
Oh.
It's very middle-aged, but it is a geoplotted thing. And I did it because I could, not because I wanted to. Like, that's great.